Coming up on Down Under EV Adventures, we review the Polestar 2 and have a great time in the process. Hi, G here. This is the Polestar 2 and I'm going to be driving it for the next 2 days. Welcome back to Down Under EV Adventures, where today we're going to have a look at the fantastic Polestar 2. Now, I'm pretty sure this is the 24 model, and we rented this a few weeks ago. It doesn't matter if it is the 23 model, because I did some research and I learned that the specs haven't changed since last year's model. We've got the dual motor, and you can see it's 310 kilowatts, and we've got an 82 kilowatt battery power pack. This is slightly different to the one I tested last time, which you can see was a 78 kilowatt battery power pack, and gee, a relatively modest 170 kilowatts compared to this beauty. So we rented this for a couple of days and did quite a bit of driving with it, and you'll see later on we did an acceleration test with it as well. Now, if you're after a performance car, this could be the one for you. It's quite how can I say, it's got some pretty good acceleration on it, and as a package it's pretty good, and I think it looks great as well. Our review today is going to be a mixture of the voiceover and also me in real time. So let's get started and have a look at the boot and check out those amazing lights on the rear of the car there. And what is under there? A charging cable, and of course no spare tyre, which you come to expect. Now, the Polestar dual motor can charge at 205 kilowatts on a DC fast charger. A Frunk with a repair kit. Now, next up we do an acceleration test. Now, because we were staying in the Swan Valley, we couldn't find any really long roads, so we decided just to go from 0 to 70, and that would avoid us having to drive out of the city, so here we go. Whoa! Oh, that gives me a... G-forces!
I got a bit nausea.
Yeah, me too. That's neck snapping acceleration. I cut myself off there. I said neck snapping acceleration, and I tell you what, these cars are blistering off the mark. They are so fast, and I had literally stars in my eyes. So if a performance car is what you're after, this could be it. Oh wait, there's only one cup holder, but if we go in here, there's another one, but some people might not like that because you can't really rest your arms, so that's a fail. Come on, Polestar. Surely you can engineer a car with 2 cup holders. So my first impressions are that the interior, they've made some improvements. The leg room in the front, I'm not feeling as cramped as I did, and I haven't banged my head yet, which I did several times last time. So kudos to them for improving the interior. They've still got the GPS here on the dashboard, which I think is an excellent idea. It really makes it easy to navigate. And you've got all the icons clearly there where you can see them. You know, on the right hand side you've got the charge, and then the left hand side the gearing and the speed. So really nicely set out. The tablet in the vertical position is pretty good. It's not obstructing your view, as you can see, and you can see it's fairly easy to navigate. You've got a lot of things you can do. So, you know, the interface is again very fast. So hardware, software, all top notch. Now the glove box looks a little bit different. I think they've also made it slightly bigger than the last glove box. So well done, they've really made some improvements. Just the 1 cup holder is a bit silly. I mean, why wouldn't you have 2? But, you know, that's the way it is. But I love this gear stick holder. And I do love the logo. I think it's a fantastic logo, this Polestar logo there. So, but again, the materials are really great. So, well done. First impressions are, I think it's a big step up. It's not a car that I would want to own, you know, being a sedan and being lower down. But I'm happy to rent a car like this. I can live with it for a couple of days, but I couldn't live with it long term. In terms of the boot is a little bit hard to load things into, and you know, the lower roof line is, I'm not a fan of that. When you get that sort of acceleration, I can only imagine what the performance would be. I literally almost got stars in my eyes from the acceleration. So if you're after a performance car, you know, this one is pretty good. The voice commands are excellent on this car, one of the best I've ever done. So turn up fan speed by 3.
Got it. Turning up the fan speed by 3.
So it's really great. It's never failed me when I've asked it. You can do navigation. So navigate to Perth Airport Terminal 1.
Navigating to Perth International Airport, T1.
So really the voice controls is excellent as well. Top marks. Turn up fan speed by 3.
Alright, turning up the fan speed by 3.
Interestingly, the car comes with Michelin primacy tyres, which are the same as the ones I put on my Atto. Now, of course, one thing I love about the Polestar 2 is the styling. I think it looks absolutely magnificent. Now, I'm not really into black cars, but if I ever was going to have a black car, I think this would be it. And I'm definitely a big fan of the Polestar logo. I think it looks brilliant. The wheels are quite nice too. You've got the Michelin tyres on, the Michelin primacies. And there's not much really to say that it's a Polestar. Like the previous model, just a little sticker on the side there with the end. I think that's the battery size, and then of course the power. Looks great. There is no rear wiper, which is, you know, common on EVs, which I'm not a fan of. I think they should have a rear wiper, but hey, obviously doing it for reasons of aerodynamics and so on. That light bar looks brilliant. It's just a very, very lovely looking car, I think. Those wing mirrors look interesting, almost frameless the way they've designed it. So we'll go to the interior, and just much like the last one I reviewed, it's got nice fabrics. So you see everything's laid out quite nicely and within easy reach. And like I said, I do feel like they've improved. This is definitely a lot better. I'll have to go back and have a look and see. But the seating is a lot better. I don't feel like my knee is rubbing on anything. It just feels a lot more comfortable. This still looks quite wide. So yeah, I'm not sure what they've done. But the styling is just beautiful. So inside and out, this car is gorgeous. The build quality is exceptional. It really is one of the great built cars that I've seen. Everything is just screwed and bolted together really nicely. Really lovely what they've done. You know, and under here you've got a little mirror with a light, which is good. The seats were fairly comfortable. You've got quite a bit of side bolstering there, you know, being I guess a sort of performance car. And this gear stick is really nice. I really like it. And you've got a wireless charging there. And the door pockets, you know, they're big enough. And all your door controls. So let's have a look at the back seat. Yeah, so I would say because of this thing here in the middle, I would say you're only really going to want to put 2 people in the back here. I'm not sure that you really want to have 3 adults there, only unless it's a very short trip. Otherwise, you know, a child might be okay in the back there. But again, you've got the same materials here, some speakers there. Other than that, not much else in the back here. No pockets or anything like that. No mat pockets, but you do get a couple of air vents. Of course, you've got the little ski hatch here, which you can put the seat down there and put your skis through there if you're into skiing and you live in a snow area of Australia, which is not many of us. And you saw a bit earlier the charging cable under the floor there. And for some reason, this is actually broken. So, for a 7,000 kilometre car, that's a little bit flimsy, but hey, these things happen. And you've got the usual 2 buttons, one to lock and just to close. You can see here when you go into the tablets, okay, so under drive, you've got things where you can change the steering feel, one pedal. So, you know, if you're a Tesla owner, you'll be familiar with some of these things. You've got certainly some assists here. It's not a bingy-bongy car, very, very quiet, and the chiming and the noises were very quiet. Even the indicators you can hear. Very, very, very low noise. Only once when the emergency braking came on did you sort of feel like, whoa, what's going on here? But other than that, it's very refined and how an electric car should be. You know, not to have all the silly noises. But yeah, you can see all the sorts of stuff there that you've got. Now, there is the feature which I thought was good called the range assistant. Now, that was the only way I could work out to go into the climate controls other than using the voice thing. So I don't know why it's not somewhere else on this tablet here, but it does tell you like what it thinks. You know, the climate control using medium consumption, low consumption for speed and driving style. Obviously, I was not accelerating hard enough. I'm surprised because I was having fun with this car. But anyway, and then there's something called performance. Now, I think this is to do with, the G-forces. So I didn't try this out, but when you're accelerating, I guess you can try and get that little ball to go up high. I'm sure it would have been at the edge on that little acceleration we did. So yeah, very, very good tablet again. The same as in the other one that I drove. So yeah, and you know, the Polestar 2 was the very first fully electric car that I actually drove. So I guess it's got a little bit of a special place in my heart too. You can, if you wanted to go back and have a look, it's a pretty ordinary review I did. My video skills weren't quite great back then. But anyway, it was a couple of years ago when I first started the channel. Alright, so you can see it looks quite nice, the display there. You've got the same colours as last time. I don't know if you can change them on here or not, but I'm pleased to say everything is very easy to read here. And one thing I do love is I'll put it into reverse, and you can see that 360 camera's quite nice there that they've got. Parking sensors. So it's very nice. So all in all, it's a lovely car. My verdict is if you're after a performance car and you know you want something different other than a Tesla or a Kia, you know, give the Polestar a go. You might be surprised, you might like it. I'm certainly a lot more impressed with this model than I was the previous one I drove. I think this is really, really a good package. Again, you know, it's a premium price though, you have to pay for it. So that's obviously going to turn a few buyers off. But geez, for what you get and the quality of it, I could see somebody owning this car long term and getting a lot of great usage out of it. I'm very impressed with it, and that's my little review. Okay, so let's wrap this up. So, to wrap up, I think it's a fantastic offering. Unfortunately, I think the price is probably a little bit high in Australia. I think they should probably drop the price a little bit, and that's because in recent times EVs have really come down in price in Australia, and I think this one is really sitting up there with at a premium price, and that will turn off a lot of buyers. But maybe Polestar don't care. Maybe they want to be. I mean, somebody has to be the most expensive. Maybe they want to be. But having said all that, it's an extremely quality car and well put together, and I think they will get some sales with it. I mean, this dual motor version is quite exhilarating to drive. The acceleration is something to behold. So if you're after a performance car, well, this definitely ticks the boxes. And it's a very nicely put together package, so I quite like it. So there you have it. That's our little review of that. Thanks for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Give us a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And we'll see you very soon on Down Under EV Adventures. Bye for now.